Hey, you guys, and welcome to Triple Threat Tuesday. And I am this week's host, Ke-sha, if you guys don't remember me. And yeah, this week's topic is favorite required reading. And this is some of the reading that you're required to do that you loved. And I don't remember a lot of required reading, to be honest. It has been a while since I've been required to read anything. But one of the ones I'm going to show you guys is The Outsiders by S.E.Hinton. Now, we were required to read this freshman year, but I'd already read it before then, which happened with basically all the books. I already read it by the time I was required to read it, but it was one of my favorite ones, and it follows this character named Ponyboy and his brothers Derry and Soda Pop and some other of his friends, and they kind of get in trouble. They're like the greasers versus the socias, who are the rich people, and they kind of live like the other side of the tracks that are not supposed to be so good, if you can get that. They're trying to, like, they're stereotypes, and it's like I like this story because it's kind of like showing people, like, I think it was like the first story that I read that's like, just because you're to perceive that this doesn't mean that you are this. You're breaking expectations and stuff like that. And I kind of believe that's how it went, and how some people get away with some stuff because of where they live and how they are perceived to be, but they can be uglier than other people who live the greaser's life, and then he gets into some trouble with some friends and stuff, and he has to, kind of go on this journey, and they have to come to grips with stuff, and things happen. It was always a moving book for me, and I really enjoyed it, and also had one of my favorite poems in it by Robert Frost, which I thought I'd share with you guys. Nature's first green is gold, her heart is hue to hold, her early leaf's a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf. Then Eden sank to grief. Then dawn goes down today. Nothing can stay. So that was really awesome poem that kind of had some bases in the book, and it kind of comes back in later, and I really just enjoyed how it all tied together, and it's definitely one of my favorite books, and I reread it basically every year. Not last year because I don't know what I was doing last year, but I did find this new copy last year, so that was awesome because I really love this one. And yeah, so on to the next book. Sorry about my phone. Um, I remember having to read Julius Caesar for seventh grade, and I already kind of knew the story by then. I hadn't really read it by myself, and but it really helped to have like a class setting to like go through it sort of with the teacher and make sure that I kind of understood more than usually, because I understood it because I watched a lot of Julius Caesar stuff for some weird reason. I was really into it, like knowing, which is a weird thing to be into, because it's basically this guy, he just gets betrayed because everyone thinks he's gonna have so much power, and I kind of watched. And I kind of liked watching everyone kind of get their comeuppance by the end, actually. So it's really one of my favorite required readings. And of course, if I have to mention that by William Shakespeare, then I have to mention Romeo and Juliet, because who doesn't know the story of Romeo and Juliet? Um, and I definitely kind of knew about that before seventh grade. Kind of read a little bit of it, but mostly I think it was just that movie. I saw most of the time with Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes, I believe. And it was a really good book. Will play. I really enjoyed it, and it's like one of my favorite kind of love stories. And even though they were young and kind of stupid, and there's like a miscommunications of mass, but I still really enjoyed the play because I've read some bad reviews, and I kind of get what people are kind of saying, but it's still one of my favorite required readings, and I never have a problem with rereading it, even if it's in this text, because yeah, I enjoy it. But I thought I'd leave you guys with like a little piece from at the end of the play, because I'm guessing I'm not spoiling anything because I think it's very well known. And it says, from the prince, and he says, a glooming peace this morning with it brings the sun, for sorrow will not show its head. Go hence to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned and some punished, for never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo. So yeah, I kind of like that part the most. It was kind of like one of my favorite quotes. So you guys tell me what was Did you guys read any of this for your required reading? Are you liking The Outsiders, Romeo and Juliet, Julius Caesar? Are these some of the things that you were required to read in high school? And if not, tell me some of the things that you were required to read that you think I should read. Because I know there is one book that I was really hoping to get to for required reading, and it was The Great Gatsby by Fitzgerald, and yet we never had to read this in high school, and I still haven't read it yet, but I do have a copy, and I'm really excited. So if you guys want to tell me about your opinions on that as well, let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you guys later. Bye.